Now on KGW News, flower boxes to block campers.
We're all fed up, completely fed up.
A neighborhood's way of dealing with the homeless crisis quickly draws backlash.
This is definitely not the way to deal with it.
And a serial robber on the run is blamed for at least 30 holdups. Plus, a plane blocks lanes of traffic during the evening commute. But first, beyond the physical symptoms.
Sometimes it feels like, for me anyway, I'm just dying on the inside.
Local doctors are treating the mental toll of long COVID. Your news starts now.
And let's get right to breaking news out of North Portland, where police are involved in a standoff with a number of suspects on Hayden Island. This has been going on for at least the last 4 hours. Residents on Hayden Bay Drive tell us they were told to stay in their homes.
Another witness took this video showing SWAT teams surrounding an apartment building there. We have asked police multiple times to try to find out who they're looking for. We'll update you when we have more information. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Laurel Porter.
And I'm David Molko, and we're going to move to our homeless crisis now, to a Portland neighborhood that's been at the center of many, many battles over homeless camps. And this weekend, it appears some who live in Laurelhurst tried to take matters into their own hands.
They put planters along a street where tents were previously set up. Our Alma McCarty found some in support of the move, while others were adamant it's not the solution. Alma?
Yeah, David, Laurel, people I spoke with have varying opinions on whether this is an acceptable solution, but enough people were upset about it. The planters were removed within 24 hours.
Before, there were mounds of dirt and gravel lining Southeast 37th Avenue near Laurelhurst Park. There were planters, lots of them, as captured by Alex Linsker.
Saturday morning, I'd actually seen a bunch of people. I was like, okay, but I didn't interact because it just looked kind of shady to me.
Others passing through saw the activity too. As first reported in Willamette Week, several people spent Saturday morning putting dirt into these planters or troughs, seemingly to prevent camping along this stretch of road.
I just thought it was a gardening project. I didn't know who was doing it.
This landscaping project of sorts didn't last long, to the dismay of some, like Aaron Miller, who lives a block away.
It's disheartening. I mean, I really thought it looked good, and I was happy that there was going to be something beautiful here.
PBOT tells KGW they didn't get an application for a permit to put the planters or anything else up in this spot, confirming city crews didn't remove them either.
They didn't get a permit. They should get a permit.
While Alex says he's glad to see they're gone.
This is definitely not the way to deal with it.
Ann Masters,
I just heard that this had been gone, so I wanted to run over and see.
Said this is exactly the type of solution she was considering to try and deter homeless camps in her own neighborhood nearby.
I'm 100% for it, because the people that are on the street that are causing the problems will not live by rules. That is the bottom line. But yet we can't do anything to keep them off our property.
KGW was unable to reach the neighborhood association to independently confirm the purpose of these planters. Camps and camp sweeps in and around Laurelhurst Park have created tension in the neighborhood for years.
The city is not going to help us. They absolutely will not do anything for us. So we know we have to stand up individually and do something.
I think government could be nicer to people with less money, and I think that would be the solution.
Just unfortunate. You know, I'm just hoping the city comes in and helps a little bit more.
We don't know who is behind the removal, though neighbors I spoke with who were not willing to go on camera tell me it was likely an outside group. We did see several posts on social media from activists encouraging people to come and remove the planters. Laurel?
Thank you, Alma. Now let's get you caught up on tonight's other headlines. Portland police say 2 people have died in hit-and-run crashes in the last 24 hours. The most recent this afternoon on Northeast Gleason near 100th Avenue. And tonight we now know the 41-year-old driver involved has been charged with manslaughter. We talked to a witness who said the victim was riding an e-bike, and that's when the driver in a truck hit him and took off.
Everybody saw the guy stuck on a trailer dragging down the street, and nobody would come off a turn lane, and nobody would help me. I'm running after him on foot by myself, screaming, yelling, everybody just watching.
This is the 30th traffic fatality for 2022. And let's talk about the second hit and run, which broke as we went to air last night. Police say a driver hit and killed a person walking near Eastport Plaza off Southeast 82nd Avenue. Police now say that crash was a homicide, and the suspect, 40-year-old Frederick Moore, was arrested today on murder charges. And a plane crash near the end of one of the runways at Hillsborough Airport caused some traffic troubles this evening. You can see the plane ended up plowing through a fence and stopped partially on the road. This was on Northeast Evergreen. Police say the two people on board were not hurt.
Well, from Hillsborough to Westland to Portland, police are looking for a serial robbery suspect they say has hit more than 24 businesses over the last couple of months. The suspect has hit at least 30 so far and has the same MO in each and every spot. He walks in, shows a gun, and then robs the place, leaving folks terrified.
He was like, give me all the money that you have right now. I don't want to hurt anyone else. And then at that point, he started kind of pointing the gun a little closer. And then I just sadly had to grab my coworker's bag that was under the desk and give whatever they had.
Well, luckily, nobody has been injured or shot, but police want to catch the suspect before that happens. Investigators say sometimes he even steals from customers. Anyone who recognizes the suspect is asked to contact police.
Now to a story we're going to be watching closely this week. The House committee investigating the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol is getting ready to take its case to the public. After talking to hundreds of witnesses and reviewing thousands of hours of video footage on Thursday, lawmakers will hold the first of at least 6 public hearings. And KGW and NBC News will be covering that live. Special coverage begins Thursday evening right here at 5 o'clock on KGW.
Well, new tonight, there is a growing focus on one effect of long COVID that even doctors are still trying to understand: the impact on mental health.
Many patients are dealing with anxiety, depression, and even suicidal thoughts. Catherine Cook explains how doctors at OHSU are trying to make sure they're not suffering in silence.
Morning coffee ushers in most new days for Amy Wyson. So does a question.
What my body's going to do on that day, what types of situations are going to come into my controlled environment.
Like an estimated 8 to 23 million Americans, Amy is fighting long COVID.
I'm almost 2 years into this.
Amy got the virus twice. First in July of 2020, then again that October. Each bout brought a battery of unique symptoms, from body aches to brain fog. But instead of getting better, her symptoms lingered and evolved.
I would brush my hair and it would fall out, almost like a chemo patient. You know, things just don't heal. My body's just not the same.
As her body grappled with fatigue,
I used to be really outgoing, and
Amy's mental health was eroding. She went on disability for 6 months. Depression replaced joy.
And I just burst into tears, and it's all downhill from there.
Anxiety replaced confidence.
Sometimes it feels like, for me anyway, I'm just dying on the inside.
And last fall, Amy actually tried to take her own life.
Thankfully, I didn't obviously carry it through, but I'm still terrified that I did that.
Amy sought help from Oregon Health and Science University's long COVID-19 program. And one aspect of it in particular, treatment for COVID-related mental health struggles.
The mental health aspects of this are very real. The thoughts of suicide are something that I am hearing about every day when I'm talking with my patients, unfortunately.
Dr. Jordan Anderson is a neuropsychiatrist in OHSU's long COVID program. When it comes to long COVID, he says people's inability to rebound physically can impact them mentally and emotionally, wreaking havoc on their home and work life.
This struggle adapting to their new limitations and sort of grieving their former life is leading to really profound depression and suicidal ideation.
Dr. Anderson says treating these mental health cases requires extra care.
Some of these medications can make their long COVID symptoms feel worse, and we have to be careful with that. And this is a new variable that we're not really used to dealing with in the mental health field.
It's all still so new. Dr. Anderson says that may be the most important point of all. He says these patients need and deserve empathy and validation. They're finding it through therapy and within OHSU's long hauler support groups.
We just know that we have this collective common disaster, and working with them and hearing their stories, it's like we're all telling the same thing, but none of us knew.
For Amy, it all points to a place where she can only hope to return to.
My friends now are like, "Where have you been?" And oh my gosh, we miss you so much. I'm like, I miss her too. I miss me too.
In Southwest Portland, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
And our thanks to her for sharing her story. If you are in a mental health crisis and need immediate help, you can call the Suicide Prevention Lifeline. That is the number on your screen, 1-800-273-8255 or 273-HELP. For more on OHSU's long COVID treatment program, be sure to check out Catherine's article that's up shortly at kgw.com.